So the workers today are directly affected at waste collections that do the downtown core as well as the outskirts for the city of Hamilton. They're CUPE 5.67 members. This morning they were supposed to start their shift at 7 a.m. It was extreme ice conditions. They put in a work refusal. These folks get on and off the truck on icy conditions over and over again. They're also some of our workers with like the highest rates of injury. They're also one of the departments that, unfortunately, due to the work they do, going up and down streets with cars, help produce some of the numbers to our high CVR rate. Taking in their safety, a larger holistic picture of what's best for the municipality. They put in a work refusal, not wanting to get injured. They're constantly twisting and bending when they're throwing garbage. Sidewalks aren't clear. It's very unsafe. So through that process, the employer followed it step by step. There was not agreement that was made, so the Ministry of Labor came down. The Ministry of Labor is saying that the initial steps are safe for them to go to their trucks, and then that they would have to relook at a potential another work refusal once they got onto the physical job site, where the sidewalk could then be unsafe, but they wanted to look at that as a holistic picture.
So the ministry wants them to go out to work and see if it's safe enough?
That's correct. So their shifts go from 7 till 3. The employer has sent out 6 side loaders to actually go out and do the work. Some of these folks work all the way out in Flamborough type area, so they can keep them till 5. So the city's making a conscious decision now at 2:30 to send trucks for a 45-minute drive, where they may be able to pick up garbage for 5 or 6 houses and then have to drive back. So it's also just a waste of resources on that. That was a decision by the waste collections. We take issue with that as a local. Hence the unfortunate outburst there at Dan. It's just a pure frustration of the workers down there that don't see it fit to still go out. And we're looking for, even though the ministry has deemed it safe, that the employer has some compassion towards the workers and the work that they do. These folks don't complain when it's minus 20. They still go and do the job. The fact is the conditions are extremely icy today, and it's not safe for them, and that's the concerns.
What was Dan's reaction?
I mean, I understood twice. Dan was a little, there's proper channels to go through, but we continuously have frustrations with those channels. He's ultimately at the top, and when it's an issue this big, I'm going to take it right to the top.
Are they deciding right now what to do?
Dan has indicated that he is putting it back to Craig Murdoch, who will get a hold of me, and I have not received any information yet from Craig Murdoch.
Oh, this has never happened before?
Not on this scale. We do frequently have individuals put in work refusals. This was done at the start of the shift collectively by roughly 60 employees, so it's not that we've dealt with something on this scale before. And again, I can't stress enough that these are employees that go out during any working conditions. They take great pride in the job they do. They just holistically understand the job and understand that it's not safe to be working on ice when you have residents that you can't guarantee will maintain the sidewalks and conditions such as that.
Sorry, Greg, can you clarify for me though, after the work refusal, the ministry weighed in, what happened next? Did they go out and do the job, or did you say no?
So there is, the ministry is still on site. So we operate side loaders that are parked inside. So the ministry has deemed those vehicles safe, and those ones have now been sent out by the employer.
But the regular garbage trucks?
They're still reviewing. The Ministry of Labor is still reviewing how a circle check would be, because the steps that folks actually stand on, you see them riding at the back of the truck, those are covered in ice. The handles are covered in ice. The safety features that operate the hopper and keep everybody safe, those are covered in ice. So the ministry is currently looking at that, and will make those decisions. We are afraid that if the ministry says that it's safe to leave the yard, that the employer will force the workers to leave the yard.
So at this point, the workers associated with the regular non-side loading garbage trucks have not gone out?
That's correct.
This is still essentially being decided whether they should or not?
That's correct, unless things have changed in the last 5 minutes.
So how many folks are actually out there with side loaders?
There are 6 vehicles. They generally operate with 1 employee only. So there'd be 6. They could put a second employee there. So a maximum of 12 employees could be out.
Have you heard from them how the conditions are?
They just left. I left the yard at the same time.
City, part of Dundas?
Lower City, part of Dundas, Flamborough, as well as
Could you spell your name?
It's Barry, B-A-R-R-Y, last name Conway, C-O-N-W-A-Y, and I'm the outside unit vice president with CUPE Local 5167.
Good.
And at this stage, is it still a possibility that they would send the regular trucks out today, or is darkness approaching mean that you would wait anyway? Or?
It's a possibility that they could have them out working until 5 p.m. As per the collective agreement, they'd be allowed to be back at the yard for 10-minute wash-up time. What they'd actually be able to get done today is unknown, so I mean, I don't see the value in sending out those resources at this point in time, but that's the employer's decision.
What happens with garbage collection when things get delayed like this?
Well, we actually brought it up earlier on to the employer when we saw that this was taking quite some time. We had spoken with management at the yard around 10 a.m. to suggest that allow the work refusal, and then we could collectively start working towards a game plan of do we pick it up on Saturday, do they do double collection next week? And we also looked at asking them to take the contractors off the road. If it's not safe for us, it's not safe for them. I'm not sure what kind of union if they have with that type of association. But yes. But we'd also made the case that GFL should be off the road for their safety as well, for all workers.
Not that we speak for GFL in any way, but do you have any idea if they went out?
When I was driving to the yard this morning, I saw some GFL trucks out, but I can't confirm if they still have out.
Thank you very much for that. And what is left for you to deal with here with management, just to see whether or not they'll allow the work refusal for the remainder of the day?
Well, I mean, if the Ministry of Labour says that the employer is correct, the next step is we still just want to work with the employer that the workers get to go home based off of the concerns that they still have and the fact that tomorrow's a new day. And ultimately, we understand the residents want their garbage picked up and provide a high quality of service, but we'd hope that they would stand with their workers, understanding the conditions that it's out today, and wait an extra day to have their stuff picked up.
Is it surprising that the ministry would not settle the issue early on?
You know what? I know before government resources have gone downhill, I will say that through the work refusal process, it tries to get worked out on the shop floor with worker reps and management reps. After that failed, the Ministry of Labour was called, and they were actually down within an hour. It's just there's a lot of concerns that were brought forward, and they are doing their due process to actually come up with a conclusion to this.
But bottom line, just so I don't misunderstand you, the ministry has said to date that they have not ruled whether or not going out is unsafe. They've only ruled that it was safe to get
within the trucks and leave the yard, and that they could only make it once the workers got to the site. If they felt it was unsafe, that would be a new work refusal for that specific part of the job.
But your folks haven't done that, have they?
At this point in time, no. We've only had our side loaders leave the yard about a half hour.
Good. Thank you very much.
No, thank you.
So are you waiting?